In my 16 by 16 feet of a room right by the ledge where the sun pours in every single morning, I keep my blanket. It's riddled with patches and frayed threads, and it smells like the patch of hewali flowers found in my backyard, and in that space of one breath, the apple in my mouth tastes a little sour, a little more of home. As if the frequencies with which my mother grumbled over my father's drinking and smoking have embedded themselves in my tongue, and my father's silence constructs the cavern of my mouth. My maid grumbles every day when she has to lift it up to sweep the floor, and I turn away indifferent to her woes because no dust can penetrate that happy shroud. And the weight is definitely less than the 15 kg limit of airline baggage, inclusive of the emotional. And in fiscal terms, that particular spot makes home feel a lot more closer than 3 hours spent in a flight, and the closet's a no-go. You see, there's just one too many skeletons in mine. A few weeks have gone by in this new city, and every Sunday, I wash my blanket. I know, I shouldn't, but my OCD takes up too much space in my head, and the skeletons whisper it's time to infiltrate this new space every damn time I open up my closet that the blanket is but a mere bleep of Eden in their radar. So now, every night, I keep my blanket aside because they are all bones and no skin, and the rattle of their brittle bones is muffled by it. I don't think they can feel the warmth of my skin anymore. Rather, my nerves are getting very familiar with the term White Walker. My friend looks with concern at the frostbites on my ankle, compares it with Anna's curse in Frozen, and asks me why don't I use my blankie. I tell him that in Paradise Lost, Book 1, Satan never used his shield, and the maximum pain he felt was when he willingly walked the hellish ground on his unblessed feet. And while our teacher marked it as a display of Renaissance humanism and praised him for it, I think that Satan was punishing his soul for branding his comrades as fallen angels. Every Diwali, the smog settles a little more thickly across the intricate patchwork of it, and it seems like the thread no longer lines the designs crisscrossing across, healing the cockroach-bitten wounds. The dust does. At night, when my leg dangles off of the bed, the blanket seems to brush against it, softly, aching to engulf my flesh once more to rescue me from sinking into the mattress, but I tell it that rescue missions are not meant for friends, and I am one, both here and back home. So I don't demon scuttles around my skull, and its claws never quite reach my leg. Instead, they squeeze at the heart and scratch at its walls, taking care to never tear it apart. Why won't it tear apart? Just a little more pressure and a fountain will appear. Not yet, dear, the demon snarls back. For now, the salt of your tears is enough to spice up the uncooked meat nestled inside your head. The last time I laid down in a puddle was when I donned the blanket like a cape, died heroically beneath my garden gate, the hewalis masking the smell of imagined blood and enhancing the taste of rain. These days, puddles are of acid rain, spilled tea, and ashes. My skeletons tell me that they all died heroes and I lived long enough to become a villain. I whisper back to my blankie to not lose hope. I am just trying to find my Renaissance humanism. That Paradise Lost is just a book. Pages can be flipped back. Thank you.